What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about 360 cameras, specifically the Insta360 One X, why I love it, why I think you should own it, why combining it with a great inexpensive VR headset can change the way you share your experiences with people. And at the end of this, I'm gonna give one of you one. So stick around, here we go. It's a shame you're not here actually, because Katya made pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. Oh my gosh. The whole kitchen smells so good. Oh, sorry. It'll be worth it. I mean, I'm giving away a camera. Just hold on. All right, so let's start by talking about what this is. For those of you who've never seen a 360 camera before, this camera has a front and a back lens on it, two different sensors, two different cameras, both shooting a little over 180 degrees. So you're getting a full 360 degrees of capture. And then the camera does some voodoo magic and stitches those together and gives you one final file that shows everything. So, with a traditional camera, you would point that at something, you would take the picture, whatever was in frame is what you got. With a 360 camera, everything is in frame, which creates a lot of really unique opportunities. But what I really love about this is that because you're capturing 360 degrees of view and everything, you can use something like a 360 headset, a VR headset, to put on someone's noggin and actually let them be where you were. So for instance, we were in the Dolomites and we set up the camera on the top of this peak. There's a couple of lakes, there's a mountain hut. We got out of the way. I used my phone to remote trigger the photograph. And now there's a photograph from this spot that I can put in the VR headset, put it on your head, and you can feel like you're standing there. You can look around, you can look behind you, up, down. It's incredible. And then you take that to another level and you switch it to video, and all of a sudden you can put someone anywhere. Say you're sitting around a table playing cards with your friends and you put this at the end of the table just as one more person. Well, you can put that into that VR headset and literally let someone else who wasn't there feel like they were sitting at the table watching this entire scene unfold. Or maybe you're a mom and you've got a brand new baby and you use this as that kid grows up. Then that kid can look back and sit in the room and watch himself take his first steps. Now, how magical is that? To be able to basically take someone back in time to another place in the world or to just another time and say, this is what it was like in that moment. And it's not just a flat picture on your phone or on the wall. It's a 360 degree experience. Was that enough enthusiasm for you? Anyway, so that's what this is. And it's just magic. For the sake of demonstration, here's what I want to do. I can record what's happening inside the goggles and export it to the video you're watching now. Now, obviously, it'll just be in this shape because that's what it records, but I can show you what the interface looks like, what looking around looks like, and I'll also post the photos and videos from this in a separate YouTube video that I'll link down in the description or in a card someplace, and you can go and check those out, and you can actually view them, drag around, and kind of get an idea of what all was captured during those. But let's just throw this on, and I'll just give you a little tour of what's going on. All right, guys, so here we are right inside the Oculus headset, and I'm going to use the Oculus Gallery so that we can view our photos and videos right from internal storage, because I've loaded them right into the memory here. And go to Albums, Pictures, and we'll just start at Pictures. And first thing I want to do is let's check out this hotel room, because I think this is a great way to just have a look at what you can do. So basically I put this on a little tripod and then Photoshop the tripod out of the image, and so now it's just like we're in this room. We can look all the way around 360 obviously and see the room. So now let's look at something a little more fun. So here is an image. You might remember these lakes and this hut over here from the Dolomites from a previous video. we just set up the camera here, and you'll actually be able to see the little tripod down there on the ground because it didn't take it all the way out and I didn't bother to Photoshop it out. But you can see we can just look around the entire scene here. I've got a couple of these from here, so we won't spend too much time on this. Let's just scroll to the next image. All right, so here I am actually sitting at that hut. So you can see, we can look up, see the sky, all the people. There's the trail that we took to get up here through that saddle you can see over there. All right, next. All right, similar spot. There's the hut over there. Oh, look at those guys. Isn't that neat that you can just stand here and just look around as if you were actually here on the day of? Let's do one more. Oh, there we are. Hello. You can just get an idea of just how cool it is to just look around this sphere, and the longer that you spend with this headset on, the more sort of believable it is. So you may recognize this spot from Instagram or wherever you see pictures, but what you don't get to see is everything else. So we just again set this on the tripod behind us and took a picture, and you can remote take these with a phone, so you don't have to be right next to the unit. It's got Bluetooth, so, or Wi-Fi or whatever the heck it connects with. So let's go back out of here and let's actually have a look at a video. Where did I go? Here we go. Albums, movies. And let's start with this guy right here. So this was on a ski lift, and you can see the scratches in the windows, and we're just trying to figure out where we're gonna go on a hike here. Here's the tripod, you can see that. So let's go back and pick another one. Well, over here. Okay, so here's a cool one. So you might remember the Bohinj, Slovenia photo shoot. Sorry, I have to keep figuring out where I am in the sphere of this beautiful little church with all the ducks and the fog and everything during the day. Or in the morning rather, but this is what it looks like during the day. And here comes some people, and I got all freaked out and had to come back to get my stuff. All right, let's look at one more. All right, so here is one. Katya is actually holding the camera in this video, so you can see her there. The saddle we came from, and then if I turn around, she's actually following me, just holding it up in the air. And these ones are funny. This actually makes me just a little bit sick because there's a little bit of bouncing. The camera is stabilized, but there's a little bit of bouncing obviously from the walking and then just following me around here. But how cool is that we can just look around and be right here on the hike with me and see everything that we saw. All the changing terrain, all that fun stuff. Katya back here yakking away.
How cool is that? How cool is it to be able to just be in that place? I think it's amazing. I think that there's so many applications for this. I've talked to friends having weddings. I've talked to friends having babies. Obviously, from a travel perspective, being able to take that camera and put it somewhere and either just sit next to it and record as if you were sitting next to yourself there, or set it down, trigger it, and walk away and just let it run for a few minutes, and then later on you can go back to that place in your headset and be there again. You can sit on that beach, you can sit on that mountaintop, you can just sit at that cafe in Paris and watch people walk by. It's like having a time machine. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm having so much fun with this. And I'll tell you the other thing that really gets me jazzed about a headset like this. This was $200 for the 64 gig version, which I think if you're gonna do videos and photos and put stuff in here to keep in here to show people, I think you need to get the bigger one. There's a 32 version that's obviously gonna hold half. 200 bucks. The cool thing is you can load regular movies, 3D movies, you can watch Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and you've got a movie theater size screen in this tiny little unit. So whether you're sitting on an airplane or laying in bed, these little arms fold up so you can actually fold the straps just out of the way and lay in bed with that thing on your face and watch a movie in bed quietly
with the headphones. It's just super cool. The other thing I really like is that this actually has speakers built into it, and they're binaural. So if you have an A and a B channel, you actually hear the two sides. You can actually have it be surround sound in that way, or when you're watching a movie. But it's nice because you don't have to put headphones on somebody to let them hear the environment that your video was shot in. So I think that's super cool. So from an entertainment perspective, from a showing off your work, you can do full slideshows. Even if you're just shooting regular photos, you can actually load them into a slideshow. And with the remote for this, people can just swipe through. I don't have the remote here. I would show you. I should probably get that. I'll bring it back in the next clip. But anyway, you need one of these. If you have one of these, that's just, and I'm not giving this away, I'm sorry, and everywhere I can find seems to be sold out at the moment. I'm sure that's a COVID-19 thing and a bunch of people sitting at home with nothing to do. So hopefully they'll have more of those soon. I'll put links to Amazon or B&H or whatever down in the description for you so you can find them later if you need them. Now let's talk about a couple of accessories for this that I think you need, because there are a few things that I've found are very, very useful. Now the camera will screw onto any of these by itself, but I do recommend using a selfie stick. This one's made by Insta360 specifically for this task. It screws right into the bottom of the camera, which is a standard 1/4-20. And then this thing opens up to just over a meter, 3.5 feet, which is a really nice distance, whether you're putting it on a tripod, or you can kind of custom, and it doesn't have to be at these increments. You can zoom out just like half an increment and tighten it down, which is really nice. On the end of this, which also has a 1/4-20, you can put a little tripod on the bottom of that, and that's really great for like tables, or if you're doing interiors, like maybe you're doing a 360 tour of a hotel room that you stayed in, or your grandmother's house. However you choose to use that, to remember those things, you can use that for. But the other things that I really like to use, besides the standard sort of tripod and selfie stick, is Small Rig makes this little clamp. It's got a little arm on it that you can take off, but you can kind of clamp that to anything. It's small, it's not too heavy, it's super bomber. The one thing you have to be careful of with these cameras is because those lenses are fisheye on both sides, you can't really just set it down. It comes with a really nice sleeve, neoprene sleeve that's all soft on the inside, and you kind of want to keep it in that all the time if you can, so you don't scratch either of those lenses, because they're like 75 or 90 bucks or something to have them replaced. You have to send it back to China. It's a big thing. I know, because I've had to do it, which is why I have this extra one. The other thing that I really like is a nice small suction cup mount. This one I found on B&H. I'll also put a link to all of this stuff in the bottom. This is crazy bomber, this little thing. I actually found, that show, Comedians in Cars, Getting Coffee, the Seinfeld, I think it's on Netflix now. They use these for the GoPros inside the cars, and it's just such a great little unit. I think every photographer should have one of these. I've put my regular camera on it. I've hooked the 360 camera onto that on top of the car. Just the number of places you can use a tiny little mount like this. The ball head's light, the whole thing's, get one of those. I'll put a link in the description. All right, it's that time. Drew, how do we win the camera? That's why you're here. I'm sure you didn't want to watch me eat a muffin or hear me yammer on about all that stuff, but here we are. So if you want to win the camera, this is what you need to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and just leave a comment. That's it. I'm not going to ask any more than that. Check me out on Instagram if you want, @Wanderborn. Put it here. But yeah, like, subscribe. Oh, sorry, I have to interrupt for a second here. Due to international contest laws and paperwork and all that stuff, this is just going to be available to those of you in the US. So sorry about that for the international folks. Also, I have put all the details for the contest, terms and conditions, all of that stuff down in the description, so you can check that out. And I'm about to say that I'm going to run this for 1 week. I mean 2 weeks. Sorry about that. I want to give as many people as possible a chance to get in on this. So that's all I have. Bye. Leave me a comment. A week from now, I'll run a random comment selector, and we'll pick a winner. So keep an eye out for that. Hit the bell if you want to be alerted about that next video. And until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Good luck. Leave me a good comment. I'll see you next time. Bye. I was just really hungry. This sounded really good. I'm messy.
and greasy, and my chocolate all over my fingers.